Good evening, race fans, and welcome to another presentation of the Triple M Pulling Truck Series here live on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. Here tonight, we are in the beautiful hills of New Hampshire at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, coming off of last week's win by Stephen Like here in the Triple M Pulling Truck Series. Good to see what these drivers can do here tonight as we creep towards that all-star break. My name is William Tiller. Here tonight, I am joined by producer / broadcaster Adam Flieger. Adam, here tonight's going to be quite the shootout here at New Hampshire. I'd say it's a supersized short track. How you doing tonight, Adam?
Doing well there, Will. Been a little crazy here. Last night we had an exciting finish with the Xfinity cars here on NASRA 360 Network, but I'm raring to go here at, oh man, I get to so many tracks, I forget which one I'm at currently.
We're at New Hampshire. And here we go as we're taking a look at qualifying here. The qualifying session is just about a minute away from wrapping up. You see last week's winner, Stephen Like, there, second on the board right now. Chris Simon, our points leader so far this season. Adam, currently third on that grid. You see Keith Bradley right there in the 29 as well. We'll see which drivers here tonight. Michael McKinnon in that 13. I think tonight, Adam, watch out for that 13. We've been watching Michael here get pretty good runs going on, pretty good results. Let's see if that 13 can break through here tonight.
Here we go. It looks like we got about 10 seconds left in qualifying.
Indeed, right now is Ted Wade currently on top of the grid with a pretty good run, a 30 by 30 at the top of the grid there, Adam. A shout out to ESPN, 30 by 30 right there. And that will conclude our qualifying session. Ted Wade in the 2 machine will be our pole sitter of the evening as we take a look at the official starting grid right here. We look at Ted Wade on that pole position. Stephen Like currently is going to start second on that grid. Then we look at the likes of Chris Cinnamon in third in that 3 machine. Then after Chris Cinnamon, we look at Joey Doucette starting fourth. Michael McKinnon in that 13 starting fifth. Keith Bradley starting 6th in that 29. Robbie Richards in that 48 starting 7th. Devin Painter in that 99 starting 8th. Zach Hardwick in that 93 starting 9th. And Taylor Peacock in the 81 starting 10th.
Starting in 11th, we got Hunter Parsons. Why am I? And, come on now. Cooperate with me. We got Jose Luis Riviera in 12th. Sorry, I'm just trying to get my eyes to adjust here to the screen. We got Adam Newbert starting 13th. 14th is going to be starting the number 21 of Trey Pitts. Dana Shepard will be starting 15th. Brandon Chu in 16th. 17th is going to go to Justin Lumpkin. 18th will be starting Ed Osborne. Ron Hunter will be rounding out there in 19th with Jeff Sickles to his outside in the 20th position.
Picking it up in the 21st position, we have Dan Hagan in the 39. 29, the 26th machine will roll off 22nd here tonight. Huck Whittington in the 00, 23rd. Chris Blanchard in the 9, 24th. Jason Stevenson in the 72, 25th. CJ Fonda in the 53 will roll off 26th. Derek Kilgore in the 11th will roll off 27th. Tyler Dittmer in the 34 will roll off 28th. Stephen Thomas in the 23, 29th. Brandon Bullock in the 17 machine 30th, and rounding out our grid here tonight, TJ Moore, Race Control, Clint Mata, and Jimmy Emos in the 98, round out our 33 truck field here tonight at New Hampshire.
Sorry, I'm just adjusting a couple things here, Will, so just bear with me a little bit.
Yeah, Adam here as we wait the pace car to take us off the front stretch here right now. Actually, as we're starting to see those trucks now starting to get warmed up on that front stretch. Adam, here at New Hampshire, I called it a supersized short track. What are the viewers in store for here tonight?
Well, I would think with short track racing, tires would be a concern for anybody. But, with short track racing, also, we could be seeing a good bit of bump and runs also.
Yeah, it could be seeing a whole lot of bump and runs as New Hampshire has those wide, long corners around 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Then super long front and back straightaways. You're going to see those bump and runs as Adam was just talking about there on those front and back stretch. A lot of passing you're going to see on the entry of the corners, probably on the top side of the racetrack here. Very flat racetrack here in the hills of New Hampshire. There's a New England Motorsports Hall of Fame right outside of this, but here we go. Barney has the green flag in the air. We're ready. So are the drivers as we're green flag racing as Ted Wade takes us down to corner number 1 here as we're under green in the ButtKicker 125.
Now you got coming off of turn 2. Ted Wade's going to try to go to that lead. Looks like he's got a Stephen Light cleared coming onto the backstretch. They are single file at the moment.
Yeah, Ted Wade leading the way around 3 and 4 currently as our race leader. We're looking at Chris Simmons. We're under caution here, not even a lap in. Caution flag is out on the racetrack.
That looks like it's going to be Stephen Thomas. We can get the cameras to get over there on him.
We check out this replay here on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. Stephen Thomas there in the 23 machine. I think he was at the tail end of this grid here. And it looks like Huck Whittington in the 00.
And unfortunate for Stephen Thomas there as he gets tagged by the 00. Looks like we got a little bit of shaking on going on here coming into the first corner. 72 comes in with a whole lot of steam. I got to see if I can get a different camera angle on this. See if we can get a better. There we go. There's a better look at this. Almost looks like we just got a bit of net code there.
Yeah, that's the 72 of Jason Stevenson. You're going to see go to the inside of the 00 of Huck Whittington there. The Miller Lite machine. You're not going to see really any contact. That is exactly what that is. Adam, if you're watching along with us here on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network, that is net code 4 days. All right, there was no contact made between the 72 and the 00 of Huck Whittington right there. We'll watch this replay play out there, Adam. I don't think there was much damage to any trucks involved. We'll watch right now. Oof, maybe a little damage to the right back fender of the 23 of Thomas, but other than that, looked like a harmless caution.
Yeah, Thomas took some damage there off of that, but should be still early in this. He should be able to get that truck back together enough to run. We'll see here, though, as we he did hit pit lane. Oh, come on.
As we're under caution here. Still an early caution here tonight. Not even a lap in the books here in the ButtKicker 125.
Oh, not even one turn.
No, not even one turn. That started to unfold as the green flag was waving. Barney hadn't even put his flag away, and that caution flag was out.
Oh,
as we watch right now here in the Triple M Pulling Truck Series. This series has been dominated from Adam Newbert's point of view. He had that great run, about 2 or 3 races in a row with wins there, Adam, that fed into his great month of February. March, though, has been a little cold, though, for the driver of that 4 machine across all the Nazareth series. Here tonight, you know, from Darlington race last week, wasn't the same driver we saw in the month of February. Now here tonight, again, not seeing the 4 machine very early here tonight. Not seeing the 4 qualify where he usually does.
Yeah, it looks like where is he on the scoreboard there? It looks like he's back in 12th position currently. But I know he didn't quite have the starting position last night either, but still ended up having a decent run for most of the race, but had tough luck again last night in the Xfinity Series.
Yeah, tough luck indeed. That continues this month of March. But Adam, with a run that he's had here in this series in the Triple M Pulling Truck Series, he ideally would be on top of the points table. But based on the amount of races that he has run with only 5 races in the book, currently he sits around the 5th or 6th position in that points table. So really an uphill battle if you miss a couple races in a row.
Most definitely is going to be a little bit of an uphill battle, but I'm sure he's got the skill set to bring it back around and turn his races around if he can just get some of the other areas to play out his way.
Yeah, here as we dig down into 3 and 4, still under caution. That pace truck lights are off, though. Race fans, we're going to go green flag racing here as we come off of corner number 4. Right now, there was no change on the lead as we're green flag racing there. Right now we see that pace track pull off. The green flag is in the air. Ted Wade in the 2 truck will take us across the line down to corner number 1.
Ted Wade gets a great jump there on the restart, leaves them all in the dust pretty much coming down into corner 1. Can we get through corner 1 this time without a caution? That's going to be the question, as we saw what happened on the first lap of the race.
Yeah, pretty clean so far here off of corner number 2 down the backstretch right now. Race still being led by Ted Wade in the 2. You see the 3 of Chris Cinnamon digging down in the corner. Let's see, pretty clean into 3 off of 4 right now. And Adam, it looks like we might get 1 lap in the books.
We are definitely 1 lap in the books. Single file from first on back to about 8th. Field is still filing into that single file. I think this is going to be a track where it's going to be hard to make those passes. I think that's one of the reasons why you see that bump and run come into play so much at these short tracks like New Hampshire, is because of it being so difficult to find that lane to pass. And it looks like the 93 found that outside wall a little bit there.
The 93 scrapes the topside wall here tonight. Stage 1 will be 40 laps. Stage 2 will be 80. That is 40 laps in between. And then the end of the race will happen on lap 125. Adam, I forgot to bust out my handy-dandy calculator up here in the booth. Let's figure out for the folks at home what exactly that'll be. So 125 will be the end of this race. Stage 2 will come and end to lap 80. That will give us the amount of 45 laps at the end of this race here tonight, Adam. So what a run it's going to be to the end of this race. About 5 extra laps and what these drivers will see in the first 2 stages.
And it's definitely going to be interesting to see how their tire strategies play out, as I do believe the right sides will wear out pretty, the right sides will wear out on these cars making these turns here at New Hampshire, being the type of short track racing it is.
Yeah, right now, pretty cool pace on the racetrack right now from that early on caution. Things starting to settle down just a little bit now, as you're starting to see a lot of battle for position right now. Adam, you just spoke about that, as you see Ted Wade still leading the way off the corner, single file off of 2 right now. Adam, we're looking like a single file lane all the way down to about the 20th position on the racetrack.
That's what it's looking like. We got everybody single file until, we got contact there going into 3 and 4. That will be the 30 of, that's going to be the 30 of Ron Hunter.
Whoa, you saw the 30 there get clipped, but then for some reason decided to turn back up into the oncoming traffic there. The 30 machine, I don't know what happened there to cause the 30 to get sideways. That's Ron Hunter, and that 30 machine was running in the tail end of the pack there. Not a good qualifying session from that 30. We'll watch right here on the replay in the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. You're going to see the 30 get clipped by, it's a little hard to see who that is there,
That
Adam.
was the 93.
The 93, but you're going to see the 30 there just stop on the inside lane on the racetrack.
I think he just stopped because he wasn't quite sure if he was completely clear to bring it back up. Wasn't quite sure. He just did not want to be in the way of the other drivers. Kind of stay put, let the other drivers that are moving find their way to get around.
Yeah, right now as you're seeing a replay here on the racetrack, that's the 93. Gonna see you're gonna ride on board with him. Gonna go. Yeah, that was actual contact there, Adam. I don't think netcode had anything to do with that.
Yeah, that wasn't netcode on that one. That was the 93, just getting going in a little quicker into the corner than what the 30 was, and short track racing prevailed again.
Indeed. Well, like we said, this is a supersized short track here tonight at New Hampshire. It's the layout of a short track, Adam, but it's a very much bigger, that's for sure.
Does.
Yeah, right now as we're under caution, our second caution of the night here. Ted Wade still leads the way, Stephen like in the 97, still in second. Not a lot of moving parts here on the racetrack. As we saw in that run there, Adam, everything was about down to a single file lane.
Yeah, they were single file for the most of that last run. as we are under caution this time, Ted Wade's still your leader. Stephen Light there in second. Chris Cinnamon will be coming out in third. Those are your top 3 drivers currently.
Yeah, currently here as we're under caution, I gotta say, Adam, I wasn't expecting a pace like this here tonight. Early cautions on the racetrack. And we're looking at the tracks that we've seen so far here in the Triple M Pulling Truck Series. You know, we would think the drivers would be ready for this. You know, we've seen the likes of Pocono, we've seen the likes of Phoenix, Las Vegas, Bristol, coming off Bristol and Darlington, 2 well-known short tracks. Here tonight, these drivers seem to be struggling just a little bit here at New Hampshire. And right now, here's we're under caution down that backstretch. You know, we talked about it just a little bit here tonight. The drivers will have 5 sets of tires on these trucks here tonight with 100% fuel capacity. So watch out what these drivers do with that strategy, what their pitting windows will be like. I like to say it's a wave of pit stops there, Adam. You're going to have one wave, the second wave, and then you're going to have that late wave. Some drivers like that late wave to get that advantage on that run off of pit road. Here tonight, see what pays off, seeing as though that run to the end, Adam, is going to be very short, only 5-lap difference.
That is sure on that. And like we saw last night with, I believe it was the 14 of Blanchard with the Xfinity Series, we saw how late he pitted with his Xfinity car. Could we see something similar to that play out tonight with the Triple M Pulling Series Truck Series?
Yeah, I think so, Adam. We saw that strategy last night, and it paid off. You stay out as late as you can to make sure you're the last truck or car in reference to last night's race standing at the end of that race. But right now, the pace truck's taking us down the backstretch. The lights are off into 3 and 4. We're going to go green flag racing here, Adam, when we come off of 4.
They are. That most definitely. We got the lights off on the pace truck coming into turn 3 now, just waiting on the pace truck to hit pit road for our restart here. As we see the truck coming out of 4.
Barney's ready, Adam. Barney's ready. So are we up here in the booth. Ted Wade will take this green flag as we go green flag racing once again. And the ButtKicker 125 down to corner number 1.
Now it looks like Ted Wade got another good restart. Kind of just leaves the field back there as Chris Cinnamon dives to the inside, tries to get a run on the 97 there on the restart. Didn't do too bad getting the run, but ended up falling back into 3rd position.
Stephen Like very comfortable in that 97 machine, currently in 2nd as the field goes down into corner number 3. Keith Bradley there in the 29, stuck on the inside lane, getting sandwiched just a little bit there, Adam. As we cross the line down to corner number 1, what I've seen so far there, these drivers prefer the top side, middle lane so far here tonight.
Yeah, we're looking at the 13 of Michael McKinnon right now, trying to keep inside the top 10. He's currently in 8th position. Get a little bump from Adam Newbert there into 4.
Yeah, Adam Newbert right there already showing the speed in that 4 machine. Starting to see him creep up through the grid right now as the field's getting comfortable behind the wheel so far here tonight. Adam, you saw the already early 2 cautions on the racetrack. Usually you have that feeling out process, that getting comfortable process, I like to say. Now you see these drivers are comfortable. A little bit more battles for position taking place as Adam Newbert goes to the inside of Chris Blanchard in the 13.
Yeah, Chris Blanchard's or Adam Newbert's going to get the run on Chris there going, or that's the 13, that's going to be Michael McKinnon.
Oh, that is Michael McKinnon. I apologize.
So I'm going, wait a minute, I'm getting confused here on the numbers, but Adam Newbert's making another move, trying to get another position there as he passes the 05 of Hunter Parsons.
Yeah, right now Adam Newbert up 5 spots from the drop of the green flag. On the inside of Parsons there, takes that spot away from Hunter Parsons as we dig down into the corner. Adam Newbert here in this series has 3 wins so far this season, Adam, as we dig down to 3 and 4. Just about 17 laps to go here in stage 1 as we dig down into corner number 1. And right now, as Ted Wade and that 2 machine still leading the way at the top of the grid, Stephen Light in that 97 currently in 2nd. as we see a lap truck down the backstretch there. Adam Newbert still leading. Adam Newbert right there, currently in 8th spot right there. Already sees Devin Payne in the 99 in his sights to creep up through the top 10.
That's all right. I had to step away from my chair there a moment and take care of something going on in the background. I am back in the chair now. Should be good to go here.
Yeah, right now as we see Chris Cinnamon in the 3rd position in the 3 machine. Keith Bradley in the 29 right behind him. And so far what we're seeing tonight, Adam, is these drivers are using this stage to start to get the wheels hot, if you will. Not seeing a lot of big movers. Biggest mover so far is Adam Newbert in that 5 machine. Then we look down at Stephen Thomas in that 23, up 15 spots from the drop of the green flag, currently in 14th. Right now, Adam, what are some of the things you're starting to see here early on in this stage?
You mean besides Ted Wade possibly checking out front?
That's right.
Well, I'm noticing that after the first lap, the drivers have kind of settled into a little bit more of a groove, and they are single file for the most part completely throughout the field, almost picking and choosing when they make their move to make the pass, as it does look to be a tough track to pass at. It looks like our first battle is there with the 99 trying to look to the inside of the 81 of Taylor Peacock.
Yeah, we'll see right now that 3, that's the 99, Devin Painter trying to take that position away from Taylor Peacock, who the 81's had a pretty good run here in the last couple weeks, just hasn't made it into victory lane, Adam. Though if you can keep that consistency up behind the wheel of that machine, I'm sure we'll see the 81 cross that finish line first here soon, as right now holding on to a position inside the top 10. You see Keith Bradley come onto your screen as well here in the NASCAR 360 Racing Network. Chris Cinnamon right there as well. Chris Cinnamon currently our points leader, Adam, having a great season behind the wheel of that 3.
He's definitely having a good season. He's currently sitting in 3rd position here tonight with that number 3 Blanchard's towing machine. Looks like we got a couple Blanchard's towing there in the top 5.
Yeah, Blanchard's towing here in the Triple M Pulling Truck Series. Really dominating at the top of the grid so far here early on in this race. Of course, we had a couple early cautions to kick off tonight's event. Things have kind of simmered down a little bit here, Adam. But this is any indication what we're going to see later on in this race. I cannot wait to the rest of this race here tonight. And the winner of this race, Adam, I think it's one of the coolest prizes. You get a nice lobster to eat at the end of this race.
Well, that's if you like lobster. I'd probably be finding somebody to give mine to, because I'm not much of a seafood person when it comes to the
True.
Comes to certain things. I do like my walleye and other fish, but I'm just not one for shellfish too much.
Absolutely. Indeed, maybe they can hook you up with something, maybe a steak or something, if you were to win this race.
I'd definitely take a good prime rib.
That's it. Right now, as we see the field here tonight, Adam, here in stage number 1, hasn't been a lot of moving pieces. We've seen a couple passes, mainly on the outside lane. Again, you see this pack that's filled with drivers of the likes of the 48 of Robbie Richards. You see the 23 of Thomas right there. He's been a big mover here in stage number 1. 23 machine now is going to try to the inside of the 48 down to 3 and 4. Going to wisely file right back behind that 48 here. And we're looking at just around 13 laps to go here in stage number 1. Stage 1 will end on lap 40. Right now, Adam, as we're watching this battle between the 23 and the 48, this is to stay just inside that top 10.
Well, actually, it's just right outside the top 10 as the 48 and the 23 are 12th and 13th position. But Stephen Thomas is up 16 spots from the start of the green flag here this evening. After that little bit of an incident on lap 1, as we saw what happened there between him and I think it was a 00, when the 00 got loose there in corner 1. Thomas got the bad end of that deal, had to fight his way back up through the field. Now he's sitting in that 13th position, up 16 spots from the start of the flag.
Yeah, a big run out of Stephen Thomas so far in the 23 machine. Still Ted Wade, though, at the top of the grid right now, has a lead just over about 1.8 seconds at the top. That 2 machine is just I would say ghosted the rest of the field here tonight. You text somebody once, you don't get a response. You guys thought you were friends, and you get nothing in response there, Adam. That's exactly what Ted Wade's doing to the rest of the field here tonight. As we have a car sideways, looks like that's
48
Robbie
going
Richards in
around.
the 48 sideways.
That was a 48 of Robert Richards going around there in turns
Right.
1 and 2.
Yeah, we see no caution on the racetrack, though, as that didn't impede traffic. But we'll check out a replay here on the NASCAR 360 Racing Network. See what exactly put that 48 sideways here on the racetrack. Check it out right now. Here's that 48 now come on to your screen. He's topside on the racetrack, tries to dig down into the inside. You see Thomas there in the 23 with a little bit of a tap there on that fender there. That's about the third time we've seen that here tonight, Adam.
Most definitely, as we were short track racing, and I don't know if the 48 fully knew that the 23 was completely there, as it looked like he might have should have tried to hold the lane a little better, but it is what it is. Oh, come on now, you trying to get us back live here with looks like Adam Newbert fighting for that sixth position, I'm sorry, alongside of Tyler Peacock.
Yeah, Adam Newbert here tonight, wasting no time in stage number 1. Try to climb his way up through the grid right now, up 7 spots from the drop of the green flag. Adam Newbert in that 4. Right now, Adam, as we've been taking a look at the rest of the field and what happened there with Robbie Richards getting sideways, in that time of looking away, Ted Wade in that 2 machine has now extended that lead to about 2.4 seconds at the top of this grid right now. Here as we count the laps down in stage number 1.
Yeah, as we see there's the gap between first and second as Ted Wade crosses the finish line, and now second place is crossed. That gap is just getting bigger and bigger as the race goes on here.
Yeah, right now here in stage 1, but we've seen this before though, Adam. We saw this last night. We've seen drivers win stages, sweep stages in some circumstances, but you have to maintain throughout the entire race. You have to strategize throughout. But maybe here tonight, Adam, you can get the job done by winning those stages, seeing as though there's only a 5-lap difference in that late run. Ted Wade can put all his puzzle pieces together the right way. He could all but just dominate this race wire to wire and have no worries about it.
That is true. If he can get his like you were saying, kind of his ducks in a row per se, he should be able to dominate, beating as he's been so dominant here in the first stage. Is there somebody in the field though that could have something for Ted Wade if they can get themselves in the position up there at the front of the grid?
Yeah, I think you're going to have to watch out for somebody that's going to take a big gamble, maybe stretch a pit window out if they have to, because remember, Adam, you're not going to see many drivers going down pit road in that late stage. A lot of these drivers get business done at stage 2 when that caution flag flies, seeing as though you're only going to have about a 5-lap difference. You might have to stop in for a quick fuel run or tire run, depending that late stage. But other than that, you could really push it all the way through. So watch out drivers that maybe don't head down pit road at the end of stage 2. Again, maybe they pit in that run, green flag pit stop, and then they're out with new equipment when the rest of the drivers are on old stuff. But right now here, Ted Wade still leading the way on the top of the grid. We're trying to predict the future here, Adam. We're trying to see into that crystal ball how this race will play out.
I see a lot of I see a lot more bumping and running per se in that third stage than with what we've already seen here in stage 1. I could see some bumpers getting used possibly in that third and final stage.
Yeah, definitely right now as we have just about 3 laps to go here in stage number 1. Devin Painter's under fire right there from Jose Luis Rivera, racing that race lab machine right now. Jose Luis Rivera trying to get those results here stacking up. Haven't really seen it out of the 20 machine so far this season. Maybe New Hampshire is that launching pad for a good run into that all-star break. I cannot believe when we started this season here in the Triple M Pulling Truck Series that we're already only 3 races away from the all-star break.
It does seem these races are going by pretty quickly, as the years seems to be going by pretty quickly as well. It just never seems to slow down enough.
It doesn't indeed. And the one I think the one driver everybody wishes that slows down a little bit is Ted Wade at the top of the grid. Here with just about one lap to go. Here in stage number 1, Ted Wade takes us down to 1 and 2. He's all by himself there in the corner. The rest of the field is pretty far away at this point, creeping up in about the 2.5 second range as we watch the rest of the field head down the backstretch.
As it looks like he's catching if this stage would have went on any longer, it looks like he might have caught a couple trucks there at the tail end of the pack.
Yes, right now as we come off the last corner, Ted Wade will win stage number 1 here in the ButtKicker 125 in the Triple M Pulling Truck Series. We're just awaiting the 10th truck to cross the line here, and that yellow flag will fly here to conclude stage number 1.
Oh, that would be Ted Wade, your stage 1 winner.
What a dominant performance that was. Ted Wade gets the stage 1 win. Stephen Lake, last week's winner, gets 2nd. Keith Bradley in the 29 machine finishes 3rd. Chris Cinnamon in the 3 finishes 4th. Joey Doucette in the 16 finishes 5th. Adam Newbert in the 4 finishes 6th. Hunter Parsons in the 5 finishes 7th. Taylor Peacock in the 81 finishes 8th. Jose Luis Rivera finishes 9th. And rounding out our top 10 there in stage number 1 is the 99 of Devin Painter. Let's step aside for our first break of the evening. Here in the Triple M Pulling Truck Series, we'll be right back for the drop of the green flag in stage number 2 here live from New Hampshire Motor Speedway. And we're back live here on the NASCAR 360 Racing Network here at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. My name is William Sawyer here. Tonight I am joined by producer / broadcaster Adam Fleeger up here in the booth. We just saw utter domination there in stage number 1 by Ted Wade in the 2 machine behind the wheel of that truck. See if we can't catch up with stage number 1 winner Ted Wade in that 2. Ted, you were up here in the NASCAR 360 Racing Network broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, but we're about to come to 1 to green.
Gotcha. We'll make it quick here, my man. How'd you get done there in stage number 1, and do you think you're going to continue on that run throughout the rest of this race?
I'm going to give her a good try, man. I was just trying to be patient and set a good pace, and I looked like I pulled away there a little bit. Run a few tenths a lap faster. I'm just going to try to repeat it again.
Gotcha, my man. And what are the keys to putting that 2 into victory lane here tonight? We see early on you have the speed, you have the lines. What else do you have to get done to make sure you get that thing into victory lane?
Nail these restarts and don't get any penalties.
Right on, my man. Before we let you go here in stage number 2, anybody you want to shout out with that stage number 1 win?
just everybody at Over the Top Designs, John Hedrick, my teammates over at Upfront Motorsports. Thanks everybody for helping out.
Great job, Ted. Well, we appreciate you taking the time with us, my man. Great job on that stage #1 win. I'm sure we'll talk to you here soon.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, and that was Ted Wade in that 2 machine. Adam, he is ready for the drop of the green flag. We don't want any more mishaps here in the broadcast booth. Some drivers have not, let's say, not liked our interviews at certain times. But right now, as we see the pace truck pull off the top of the grid, Ted Wade will take us to the drop of the green flag. Here we go, green flag racing. Once again, the ButtKicker 125 as stage 2 officially begins as we dig down to corner #1.
We dig down in corner #1 with Ted Wade again out front, getting a great restart. Do we get through turn 1 clean? Looks like we are going to, I think. Whoa, we're getting a little close up there as we got Paul's on the backstretch.
That's Doucette. That's the 5 of Parsons as well. They're going to get a little entangled there down the backstretch. You see the 9 right there? That's Blanchard and the 9 right there, excuse me. You see the 13 of McKinnon right there as well, as things are already getting very dicey here to kick off stage #2. Didn't expect this pace here tonight, Adam, as we saw early on cautions, but right here in stage #2, oh my goodness, we're 3 wide off of 2.
I don't know if 3 wide is quite the racing we want to see here at New Hampshire. It creates some excitement, but I just don't know if there's completely room for it.
No, I don't think there's room at all. Oh my goodness, we're almost seeing contact between the 13, and we are seeing contact right above there. Adam, if we could jump up there, the 13 right there, Michael McKinnon going door to door with the 16 and Joey Doucette. Looks like these 3 drivers right here not liking each other too much right now on the racetrack.
Well, I'm not sure if I think Branch is just kind of being caught in the middle of some other trucks trying to find position there, because it looks like Blanchard's truck's pretty clean compared to the 16 of Doucette.
Yeah, Doucette right here is leading the way, but here comes Justin Lumpkin on that 18, going to come to the top side of the racetrack there with a huge run. We're watching a battle right now play out between some drivers. This is just outside the top 10, I do believe, Adam, but these drivers, they were beating each other up as we jump back up to the race leader of Ted Wade in that 2. Pretty fanned out all the way down to that battle we were just looking at there, Adam, of Joey Doucette in that 16. The rest of the leaders there at the top of the grid fanned out here early on in this run.
Yeah, they're definitely standing out all single file up there at the front. This is where your battle lies back here, like between the 12th to 18th position, maybe even 20th position here, as we see them coming through corner #2 it is, coming onto the backstretch.
Yep, this is the backstretch right now as we're seeing again this battle. This is just inside the top 10 right now. Justin Lumpkin and Doucette are going at it right now. The 18 of Lumpkin, huge run there just a moment ago. Now trying to get that position away from Joey Doucette. We're watching a battle. This is for 11th right there. Let me see right there. Well, looking at the rest of the field here tonight, Ted Wade still leading the way. Stephen Light in 2nd. Bradley in 3rd. Chris Cinnamon in 4th. Adam Newbert in the 4 machine in 5th. To the Peacock in the 81 in 6th. Jose Luis Rivera in that 20 in 7th. Evan Painter in that 99 in 8th. And our biggest mover so far here tonight, Adam, Stephen Thomas in that 23, up 20 spots from the drop of the green flag.
Yes, he is up 20 spots, so I would definitely keep an eye on that 23 as we get through the evening here, as he's running. His quick time of the evening was a 30.8, and our leader had a 30.50, so he's not too far off of the leader's fastest time there when you're looking at the best times.
Yeah, looking at the best times on the racetrack there, I think our race leader was the fastest on the racetrack there early on in tonight's race with a 30.50. We look right behind him, though. Stephen Light in that 97 machine didn't run too bad of a lap himself there with a 30.53.
No, and that's the one to keep an eye on, is that was a recent time by Stephen Light there in the 97. I'm not sure how close the Ted Wade is with his lap time of that 30.5, but I know that 97 was a more recent time, as we see him here a lot closer in stage 2.
Yeah, very close here in stage number 2. Not what we saw in stage number 1 as we come down the backstretch. All right, and now the battle at the top is only just under a second now, as you're starting to see the lap times here in stage number 2 really come down to about the same type of runs. You know, we're starting to see the same lap times out of the 29 of Keith Bradley, Chris Cinnamon in the 3, 31:03 last time by. We'll see what they are now as we cross the start-finish line here on the front stretch. You see a 31:01 for our leader, Stephen Lake, in the 97 ran a 31:11. So just as we were talking about it there, Ted Wade just made us all get a little quiet here in the broadcast booth. Almost ran a 31 flat.
He's still laying down quick times here, as well as the other two. They're in the top 3. I wouldn't count this driver out either. If he can get caught back up to the top 3 drivers, I could see him making a run at it as well. The number 3 of Chris Cinnamon.
Yeah, we look to the grid as well here. 56 laps into the ButtKicker 125. Some early disappointments for me. I would have to say Michael McKinnon in that 13 machine is in the 18th position, down 13 spots from the drop of the green flag. You know, we would think the 51 of Brian Chu going a little sideways here, Adam. The 51 here tonight's down the 17th position, and then we just saw Robbie Richards been fighting an uphill battle here tonight, down 8 spots with the drop of the green flag, down in 15th position. And I know we have a fan of Dane Hagen, that 39. Currently, he is in 14th. Pretty good race, though, up 7 spots with the drop of the green flag.
Yeah, I think that number 9 of Chris Blanchard has kind of an up and down night as well here at New Hampshire, as he is currently in the 13th position. He's up 11 spots, though, from the start of his race.
Yeah, good run out of Chris Blanchard there. Finally broke through. I believe it was last night, if I'm not mistaken. Adam finally broke through and got a win last night, if I'm not. Yes, it was last night in the Over-the-Top Designs Xfinity Series. Chris Blanchard finally broke through and got his, what I believe to be his first NASRA victory. And from what I know, Chris Blanchard has been a long supporter of NASRA, and to finally get his first victory last night, that had to have been great.
Well, it definitely was a tight race last night. Anybody that didn't see that, I would advise you to go back into the NASRA 360 Racing Network archives and bring up last night's race and watch it. It was an exciting one last night, just as this one I see going to be just as exciting with the way this race has been shaping up here at New Hampshire.
Oh, yeah, most definitely, Adam. And last night's race just comes off the tail of a photo finish we had the other night as well. So just incredible finishes night after night here in the NASRA 360 Racing Network. We go truck racing, we have Xfinity cars, and Adam, I gotta say, I have thought about joining myself, but that Cup Series on Sunday nights is very tempting every now and then to get inside of the next-gen car, race it around there with the boys. It's a different field, a few different names than what we see on the weekday, so to say. That Sunday series, the Millie's Restaurant and Catering Cup Series, Adam, looking for a little bit more support. So if you're a driver out there, listen along with us here in the NASRA 360 Racing Network. Go check us out on NASRA Racing on Facebook or Twitter if you want more information about that series. Great series. Again, Adam, I believe you're a producer broadcaster for that series.
I'm a backup producer for that one. Yeah, if NASRA calls me and says, "Hey, you able to help us with production or announcing tonight?"
That's right.
I jump on it. But otherwise, I've taken my turns around the track as well in the Cup car, and I'll be honest, I like the car. There's just one downfall for me, and it happens with any car with this style of transmission. I'm someone that just does not get along with a synchronized transmission.
Okay.
It don't matter how well the car handles or how well I like the car. It's just that transmission and I don't get along.
Just don't get along indeed, as we see Keith Bradley in that 29 machine, the animal here tonight, trying to dig those claws into the back of the 97 machine of Stephen Like right there in the 97. You're starting to see this battle brewing now. The last couple laps are for a battle for second exactly what Ted Wade wants to see in his rear view here. 63 laps into this race here. Ted Wade has essentially led every lap of this race here tonight. Adam, we talked about it early on in this broadcast. If he puts all those puzzle pieces together, he could go wire to wire here tonight.
He very well could go flag to flag here this evening, but I'd still wouldn't count some of these drivers out. I mean, as much as he's trying to put his puzzle pieces together, they're going and watching his lines, trying to take notes. What is he doing for them to maybe try to implement some sort of change in their own racing styles to race up there with him?
Guys, we're going to ride on board with Keith Bradley in that 29 machine here in this run. 65 laps into this ButtKicker 125 in the Triple M Pulling Truck Series. We're going to step aside to give you the sights and sounds of New Hampshire Motor Speedway here on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. And we are back here on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network as if time stood still there. We're back to the battle of Keith Bradley in the 29 and Stephen Lyke in the 97. This is a battle for second on the racetrack right now as they're watching the mirage of Ted Wade in the two machine just essentially evaporate. But there goes Keith Bradley, the animal. Here goes to the inside right there, and he's going to eat up that position. The animal moves to second. Stephen Lyke in the 97 machine. No, it's going to stick right on that back bumper as we cross the line down to corner number one. Yeah, Ted Wade has made this track look easy here tonight. Not an easy track, Adam, as we talked about to kick off the broadcast. Very hard to pass at. Very hard to time those lines as well. It's on a track that you can just let the truck do its thing. You have to time it. You have to hit lines here. And coming off this short track run that we've been on here with the likes of Bristol and Darlington, going on a track at New Hampshire, you know, looking at those results from last week, Adam, here as we have just about a few laps to go here in stage number 2. We had Stephen Lyke win that race in the 97. Joey Doucette in the 16 finished second. Keith Bradley third. Robbie Richards fourth. Michael McKinnon fifth. So that was our top 5 last week. Right now, our top 5, you know, has Stephen Lyke up there. No, Joey Doucette. Keith Bradley's up there. Robbie Richards had issues here tonight. Michael McKinnon's had issues here tonight. So different front runners here at New Hampshire. Yeah, this is the track where you could let off and let the track, or the truck, excuse me, stick to the inside of the racetrack and let that momentum carry you, or you downshift on the entry to the corner. Again, let that truck carry. When you get back onto the gas, Adam, you're going to upshift on the exit of the corner. Make sure you get a little bit more RPMs on the exit. Gives you more acceleration on the exit of the corner as well with that upshift of the gear. So your upshift and downshift, it's just for a little bit more extra on the exit of these corners. Yeah, that's exactly what you need to do here, Adam. It's different than a regular short track here with these long backstretch and long front stretch here. You can get these trucks in motion here as they have been in motion here in stage number 2. Very calm stage here, Adam. I don't believe we've seen any cautions here in this stage. Right, I think we may have had one caution this stage here, but take a look at the battle right now between Taylor Peacock and the 81. Looks like Parsons was right there as well. And we see right there, that's the 05. Different number for him here tonight, Adam. Switching it up than his usual, no 20, no 23 between Parsons and Thomas, but an 05 here tonight. Jose Luis Rivera is the 20 in this series. No problem. As we're counting down here, we got just about 3 laps to go in stage number 2. Has been the Ted Wade show at the top of the grid here. As we're watching this battle between right there, the Taylor Peacock and the 81. And I spoke about it not too long ago there, Adam. Taylor's had a pretty good run here the last couple weeks. Just hasn't been able to break through.
Sorry there for those that are listening to the broadcast. My mic apparently got turned off somehow, but it is back on and working again. So as we were talking there, we're looking here at the battle of the 05 of Parsons and the 81 of Tyler Peacock coming down out of turn 4. Will, I know you asked me a question, and forgive me, but I forget what you asked me.
As we watched, we were talking about the 05, that number right there, but we're watching him battle with Taylor Peacock in the 81. Taylor's had a pretty good run this season.
As we got a battle in front of them for 6th position, that's going to be Jose Luis Rivera and the 23 of Stephen Thomas. And Stephen Thomas now brings it up into the 6th position.
And the white flag is out for stage number 2. Ted Wade will cruise around the racetrack one more time here in stage number 2. He's going to sweep the stage racing here, Adam, as he takes the field down to 3 and 4 right now. Another impressive run there in stage number 2. Felt no pressure at all at the top of the grid. Ted Wade wins stage number 2 in the ButtKicker 125.
Ted Wade does win stage 2, but I would keep an eye on stage 3. He might have some company coming in stage 3. I'm going to have this feeling that some of the drivers might be trying to pick away at what he might be doing differently than what they are.
That's right. Now the caution flag now flies as the 10th truck crossed that line. We look at our official results in stage number 2. Ted Wade in that 2 machine again wins stage number 2. Keith Bradley, the Animal, finishes 2nd in the 29. Stephen Light in the 97 finishes 1 spot down from where he finished in stage number 1 and 3rd. Chris Cinnamon in that 3 machine finishes 4th. Adam Newber in that 4 machine, he's creeping back up through the grid there, Adam. Better watch out, finishes 5th. Stephen Thomas in that 23 machine, up 23 spots from the drop of the green flag, finishes 6th. Jose Luis Rivera finishes 7th. Taylor Peacock in the 81 finishes 8th. Hunter Parsons finishes 9th. And Justin Lumpkin will round out our top 10 here in stage number 2. We'll step aside for a short break. Our Nazareth 360 Racing Network will be right back here for the end of this race. Alrighty, we're back live here at the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. My name is William Tiller. I've been joined by my co-host of the evening, Adam Fleer. Adam, we just saw the conclusion of stage number 2 there. Ted Wade brought his broom and dustpan here tonight because he sweeps the stage racing. What do you see happening here in this run? A bit of a shorter run than what we're used to seeing here to close out the races here in the Triple M Pulling Truck Series. Only 45 laps to close out this race. Do you see the two continuing this great run?
I see the two possibly being able to keep the run going, but I want to give a shout out to that 23 of Stephen Thomas. He's been just kind of slowly and methodically moving his way up through the field. He is up 23 spots from the drop of the green flag this evening. And he's worked himself currently into that 6th position.
Yeah, 23 to match the number on the side of that truck here. On a stride for greatness, trying to be the GOAT of tonight's race, Adam.
The other driver I wouldn't completely count out is that number 4 of Adam Newbert either. He's sitting in a good position himself up there within the top 5.
Yeah, a lot of dogs up here at the top of the grid. You look at the likes of Adam Newbert, as you just spoke about that. Ted Wade is a dog up there as well. Stephen Light's coming off a win last week. Chris Cinnamon's our current points leader up there at the top. Keith Bradley's nickname is Animal. We know he's a dog behind the wheel of that 29 machine. You got Taylor Peacock right there in the 81. A little bit further back, you got the dog pound at the top of this grid right now. Adam, I cannot wait for the drop of the green flag.
Yeah, looking good here. As green flag is out, Wade gets another great restart, but there goes Bradley down to the inside of the 97.
Yeah, a bit of a checkup around 1 and 2 right now. Things are stacking up around the apex right here in the corner. You just saw a little bit of a bump there on the top side between the 23 and the 81 Taylor Peacock. Everything settles down right now into 3. Right now, Adam, as you mentioned, though, Ted Wade already back out to the top and starting to set sail here at the end of this race.
As we're watching the battle back here for that 7th and 8th position. Caution is out. Oh, that's going to be Ron Hunter.
Caution is out here at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway from having no cautions in stage number 2, or maybe just a 1. We already have our first caution here at the tail end of this race. The 30 is going to make contact with Robbie Richards in the 48. You see the heavy damage on the 48. You see the type of night that he's had here tonight. You're going to see the briefest of contact there, Adam, here as they enter into corner number 3.
I think the 48 just got a little bit uber aggressive here coming into the corner.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like to me there. And you know, Adam, you got to think for some of these drivers here at the tail end of the pack, they've had heavy damage on their trucks. You're essentially just racing for points. You know, you want to scrape some points out of your night. You dedicated your time to this race. You know, sometimes the effort, the attention may go for some of these drivers here at the tail end of this pack, and that's what it looks like to me. They're just some of these drivers just ready for the nights to be over.
Come up through the pack, just get a little harder to find room to pass.
Yeah, and for especially if you have damage on your truck as well, Adam makes that job ever so difficult for you gaining positions up the grid. Right, and then now Adam here is going to get everything settled in. You know, I keep asking about Ted Wade in the two, you know, the great run he's had here tonight, but other drivers are standing out here tonight to you that have had pretty good runs outside of the two. Yeah, great runs from both those drivers here. But as we watch the conclusion of this race, keep in mind to see if these drivers will pit. Adam, we talked about that. You're going to have 5 extra laps here in this run. If pitting is going to be even something we see here to close out this race here tonight. But still under that yellow flag here. The pace lights are still on of the pace truck here. Ted Wade, our race leader on the racetrack. You see Stephen Light up there in the 97, Keith Bradley in the 29. Great racing here tonight so far, Adam, but nobody's had anything for the two.
I'm thinking, like I was trying to say there, unfortunately my mic got muted again. I'm trying to eliminate some of the background noise that I might have here. But when you asked me about who I thought some of the other top drivers are besides that 2 up there in front, I'm looking at that number 4 and the number 23 is the row that I keep looking at to see if they can make any move up towards Ted Wade to make a run at this race.
Yeah, and I think you're exactly right there, Adam. I think some of these drivers need to start making some moves, need to start making some friends out here. You start doing some karate in the garage, if you will. Start to make some new best friends. Have anything for that 2 machine.
Yeah.
As right now we're down the backstretch as the 2 machine of Ted Wade is going to take us to the drop of the green flag. The pace lights are off of the pace truck. Right now, as we dig down to 3 and 4, we had about 4 or 5 cautions here tonight, but a pretty clean race so far. The cautions have all followed the same pattern. Incidental contact on that back fender. But right now, as we see the pace truck's going to pull off, Ted Wade will take us to the start-finish line for the drop of the green flag. He has Stephen Light on his top side as we're green flag racing. Once again, the ButtKicker 125 down to corner number 1.
Ted Wade gets another great start. Does Bradley get enough? No, he does not. Bradley's still going to end up settling back into that 3rd position as they battle side by side back there for the 4th position. That's going to be Adam Newbert and Chris Cinnamon in that number 3. But the 23, Stephen Thomas, is going to battle there onto the outside.
Yeah, big battle right here. Adam Newbert to the inside of Chris Cinnamon in the 3. Keith Bradley right up there as well. Adam Newbert has those tires on the inside lane. I think he may have found something on the inside here as we make it 93 down to corner number 1.
Front 3 look to be single file as we go 2 by 2 on back as the 3 now makes contact with the 4 coming down the backstretch.
Yeah,
Here comes Stephen Thomas.
4. Give me some more as Thomas in the 23 now wants to put his name in the mix right here on the apex of 3 and 4. 23 machine Stephen Thomas. We talked about his drive here tonight. A little challenge here tonight at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Up a bunch of spots. Definitely can get that hard charge reward if you can keep that truck clean here for the next, looking at around 38 laps. So caution is out. Caution's out once again.
We got a bunch of problems here
As we're queuing up the replay for you folks at home on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network, we'll check out what brought out the caution flag here down to 3 and 4. It looks like Stephen Thomas in the 23, Brandon Bullock in the 17. You're going to see on your TV screens right now. You're also going to see Michael McKinnon in the 13. We're getting through it right now. Brandon Bullock in the 17.
I'm trying to queue up the spot here. It looks like it.
As we're checking out what exactly happened here. It looks like it may have been unfolding right in front of that. There's the 42 machine. He's going to get sideways on 3 and 4. Looks like he may have had a little help there getting sideways, and that's a push from...
Whoa!
Whoa, my goodness gracious. As we had a truck just lift off out of the New Hampshire Motor Speedway.
You want to call that a lift off? I'd rather say that was blast off to the moon. I don't know where that truck went.
That truck I don't know what to say about that, but that truck has now left the building. That is the 42 of Ed Osborne. And Ed, I just want to ask you, how's space, my friend? Because he just took off there.
Yeah, the 13 also had a little bit of problems there with the outside wall, as we saw him get a little up in the air as well. But he didn't quite take to the air like the 42.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of names involved in this. You're going to see Derek Kilgore involved in this. Brandon Bullock in the 17 involved in this. You just saw Ed Osborne in the 42 involved in this as well. Michael McKinnon's going to have damage. His night has now gone sideways. It's going to drop all the way down to the 21st position. So a lot of names here, and for some of these drivers here tonight, Adam, their night's starting off with a lot of promise. I'm looking at the names of Michael McKinnon in the 13, Alexa Dan Hagen in the 39, Joey Doucette in the 16. Night's starting off very, very well. Just lost their truck somewhere around this race.
That is true, but one thing for sure that's happening here is this is letting the drivers try to keep up with that number 2 of Ted Wade. Ted Wade's not getting quite the distance away from the pack this round.
Yeah, very start and go pace here to close out tonight's event. A couple of cautions here already in this green flag run. Stephen Light, though, in the 97 machine has essentially been in that spot all night long, Adam, but has just never gotten close enough to really put any sort of pressure on that too.
That is true. Now, there's one name that I noticed I don't see at the top of my list right now, and I would like to try to figure out what happened to him. Is that 23 machine? I don't see him up there. He's back down at the 11th position, 11th to 12th position right now.
Yeah, that is interesting to see Stephen Thomas in the 23 machine now outside of the top 10 right there. Maybe just losing a bit of speed there. The 23 last headed down pit road, lap 94, so still pretty good on equipment-wise there. So interesting to see the 23 slide just a little bit there. But now as we get the 1 to go signal from Barney up there in the flag stand, the lights are off. The pace track here at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. We're going to go green flag racing here once again. And Adam, here this pace to close out tonight's race. We're used to frantic and chaos and chaotic ends, but here tonight we can't seem to get things rolling here to close out this race.
Yeah, I think it's just going to get crazier here as we get closer to the end of this race. As I just seen there from about 9th on back, seems like they came in to make a pit stop. That looks to be why you see the names of like Adam Newbert, Chris Cinnamon, the 23 of Stephen Thomas. I think they came in, and that's going to be their last stop of the race, I'm wondering.
Yeah, right now as the pace track pulls off, Ted Wade again will take the green flag from Barney in the ButtKicker 125. As again, we're green flag racing down to corner number 1.
Down in the corner number 1, indeed. There goes 97. Looks like Keith Bradley got a good run there. Was able to try to pull that second spot away from Stephen Lake there into number 97. It looks like we're getting a little tight back here in the back.
Yeah, we're getting very tight indeed, very log jammed on the tail end of this pack right now. Drivers 2 by 2 all over the racetrack right now. A lot of jockeying for positions. These are positions 10 through 15 on the racetrack right now as Adam Newbert, though, in that Ford machine wants to get out of this mess to make sure he finishes his night clean in that Ford. But as we come off of quarter number 2 there, Adam, we're 3 wide.
We are 3 wide with Stephen Thomas there on the outside in that number 23. He's hoping to just kind of squeeze through there as he's working his way back up through the field. They are still 3 wide behind him.
Yeah, as now we're going to cross that century mark down to corner number 1. These are the sweaty situations, I'd like to say. Adam, you find yourself bunched up right here, whether you're 3 wide or 2 by 2. Everybody is just so close to one another right now. You're all running the same pace, same speed, everything. The smallest mistake will end your night and the driver around you's night and some other drivers around you as well. Here right now, as we're going to take a look at Stephen Thomas and the 23 machine, starting to lose just a little bit of that pace we saw early on in tonight's race.
He's not pulling away quite like he did in stage 1, stage 2. He's sticking closer to the pack right now with Keith Bradley there in second and Stephen Light there third. We have the Jose Luis Rivera there in the 4th position, and to round out the top 5, we have Chris Blanchard, who is up 19 spots from his start.
Yeah, this is a big battle right here, Adam, as Adam Newbert to the inside of Chris Blanchard in the 9. Chris Blanchard coming off a win last night in the Over-the-Top Designs Xfinity Series, trying to get some more money in his pocket here tonight. Adam Newbert said, I want some cash money, as he goes right by the 9 to the inside. The 9 now starting to lose a little bit of speed. Might be something wrong inside the cockpit of the 9, as the 9 sliding down the grid right now. Can't seem to find those tires, just sliding on some ice down the grid right now, all the way down, almost outside of the top 10, as I thought we would see our first pit stop of the evening here in this run. But no, Tyler Dittmer in that 34 machine stays out up 21 spots with a green flag. Contact between Chris Blanchard and Tyler Dittmer. Caution flag's out. Caution flag is out. And the 23 Thomas.
Yeah, that's a tough heartbreaker for Thomas, who has had such a strong truck here this evening as we see the caution come out.
Wow. And we were just watching Tyler Dittmer in that 34 machine. We were just talking about his run here tonight. Chris Blanchard won last night in that 9 machine. We'll have to watch it again there, Adam, and see exactly, what are you seeing here? In the entry of corner number 1, of course, you have the 9 to the inside. The 23 of Thomas is going to be behind the 34 of Tyler Dittmer here. What do you see on this replay?
It looked like the 9 just got a little tight and slid up the track into the 34. Giving that 34 the spin. And unfortunately, that Thomas had nowhere to go. Yeah, Thomas just had nowhere to go. It was spun to the upper side of the track. He had nowhere to go. The 5 of Hunter Parsons looks like he's involved as well. I think those were really the 3 biggest, or the 3 drivers that were mainly involved there in that incident coming off of turn 2.
Yeah, and what a disappointing end to Tyler Dittmer's night in the 34. I was just talking about the run he was having here tonight. Stephen Thomas in the 23 as well. Adam, of course, when your night ends early, whatever position you're in, of course, your heart's going to be broken. You're going to be a little disappointed at the rest of your night, but especially for these drivers that have put in so much work. The likes of Stephen Thomas at one point up 23 spots from the drop of the green flag. Tyler Dittmer there at the time of that accident there was up 21 spots to the green flag. So Adam putting in a lot of work, maneuvering through the field, keeping that truck clean, just to have it end with just under, I'd say, around 26 laps to go. Got to be very heartbreaking for those drivers.
Oh, most definitely. You race so hard and you try to stay as clean as you can, only to end it with you finding pit road at an unfortunate time.
Yeah, as right now it looks like the 23 of Stephen Thomas is going to park down pit road, wait to the tail end of that pack to rejoin the race essentially there. Adam, as we watch the field here, still under caution. We did have some drivers head down pit road there last time by. None of the leaders, though, all the leaders stayed out. The last time the leaders headed down was around lap 94. Ted Wade, though, this is going to be an interesting tidbit here, Adam. Hasn't headed down pit road since lap 82. So we're looking at about a 12-lap difference between Ted Wade and I would say a good portion of that lead pack on equipment right now.
Yeah, 12-lap difference between Ted Wade and the next 8 drivers in this front pack.
Right. To see if that makes a difference here at the end of this run. We know that Ted Wade, assuming here up here in the booth that he will have to pit at some point before this race is over. And I guess my question to you here, Adam, as we come off of 2 here still under caution, would it be better for Ted to get this pit stop out of the way early or just keep pressing and trying to sneak it in late?
Well, I mean, the one thing that I'm curious on is how much fuel did he have left at the end of the last 2 stages? Does he have the fuel to complete this race under, with especially these last couple cautions? Is he saving fuel enough to where he can make it to the end on fuel? And again, I don't know where he stands with the tires. Is he saving the tires enough to make it to the end in that lead position, as we've seen him dominate so well up there in the front?
Oh, what a finish we have right now as the pace truck pulls off here in the ButtKicker 125. Ted Wade and the 2 machine has been the Ted Wade Show here tonight as he takes us down to corner number 1, green flag, once again.
Yes, we are under green flag once again. Looks like we have Adam Newbert and Chris Cinnamon fighting for that second position. Coming off of turn 3 now, there's the 99 of Devin Painter to the outside of Chris Cinnamon.
Chris Cinnamon trying to hold that spot into 3 and 4. We're side by side for the 3rd position right now. Around the corner of the apex at 3 and 4. This is where you want to try to lock yourself into position. Hold it down here with just a few laps to go as we dig down to corner number 1. Ted Wade still at the top. We see a lot of moving parts, though, here at the tail end of this pack, being led by Robbie Richards in that 48, who's trying to make lemonade out of what is a lemon race for him here tonight.
Most definitely. Behind him, everything is just so dicey. You got him going 3 wide here in the corner 1. So tight racing. You never know. I always get nervous racing as tight as these drivers are, especially on this race sim, as we like to call it, because you never know when that when that net code would rear its ugly head. I've seen it so many times being so tight, and that net code just finds a way to bite someone.
As we have contact there coming off of 2 right there. One thing that I'm noticing too tonight, as we're starting to see some drivers have some difficulties on the track, checking big checkups on the racetrack. Good new 2nd place truck on the track, Adam. That's Adam Newbert in the 4, up 11 spots from the drop of the green flag, currently in 2nd and gaining on Ted Wade in the 2.
Yeah, he's up 11 spots. He's also got he's got 12 lap fresher tires than what Ted Wade does. If he took tires at caution, which I'm guessing he probably did.
Yeah, taking a look at those lap times here, we'll see right now as we cross the start-finish line. Good indication of what the leader and Adam Newbert are running here. Ted Wade just put through a 31:06. Adam Newbert, 31:08. So very, very close from our top 2 drivers on the racetrack currently. What that shows me, though, Adam, is that Adam Newbert's only 0.2 of a second slower than our race leader. If he could just find the speed consistently enough, he will be fighting for the lead here in due time. With 13 laps to go down to corner number 1, Ted Wade still leads.
Caution is out. Jeff Sickles.
And caution is out on the racetrack as the 22 machine and Jeff Sickles, as Adam just mentioned, gonna have some difficulties here as we're gonna watch here in the Nazareth 360 Racing Network on the apron there. Just gonna be it looks like more so an iRacing caution there, Adam, as he's gonna essentially park that truck on the backstretch and take it to pit road, and that's gonna bring out a caution.
Yeah, I don't think he had any choice in the matter of parking it where he did, as looks like he just kind of blew up coming into turn 1 here. His truck just decided to expire. As he's coming in here, you'll see the puffs of smoke coming off of that truck.
Oh, yeah. Yep, there's more puffs of smoke coming out of the back of that truck than if Snoop Dogg was driving that 22 machine here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Here, right now, as Ted Wade still leads the way, Adam Newbert currently second, and it looks like, to me, right now everybody's going to stay out, and it's interesting to see here under caution, Adam, if Ted Wade heads down pit road.
We're down here in so little laps, and like I said before, I don't know where he stands with where his tire wear is, or where he stands on fuel. But if he's got the equipment to make it to the end, I do not see him bringing it in here and gonna try to push it. I mean, we see that he's still running a decent lap time to stay ahead of Adam Newbert, even being on the 12-lap older set of tires.
Yeah, still getting the job done at the top of the grid. That 2 machine currently our race leader. Swept the stages so far here tonight as well. We're going to cross the start-finish line here. Let's see what Barney decides to do here with this caution flag. See if we're going to have another lap under caution. I think we're going to go around one more time. It looks like that gives us a great opportunity as we're going to make choices. Nope, we're going to go around one more time. That gives us a great opportunity, though, Adam, as you're up here in the booth with me, to catch up with Adam Newbert, who I think is a great interview here, coming off a hot month of February here in March. Not the same, though. Finds himself in second position. Take it away, Adam.
All right, so did you say we have Adam Newbert here in the booth?
Yes, sir.
Hey, guys.
Hello, Adam. How's it going? This is Adam Flieger up here in the booth.
Pretty good. How about y'all?
I think it's going good. Looks like you're having a pretty decent run out there. Up 11 spots from the start of the green flags. Currently sitting in second position.
Where's Will Tiller? Is he in here?
Yes, sir.
Will's been telling on these broadcasts that I ain't been doing as good since February, but I ain't even been racing in the races. So when I show back up, now I'm back up front. I had to show you up there, Will.
That's it, my man. You're in position to do so here tonight. We're going to have, I'd probably say, in the teens left here in New Hampshire Motor Speedway.
Yeah, we're 1 to green now. Have 9 to go.
1 to green to go here. We'll let you go here on the backstretch. How do you get past the 2 here to get that 4 into victory lane?
Hopefully he burned up his tires right there. Let's get a good restart. We got a few lap fresher tires than he does. Get a good restart and hopefully get around him in 1 and 2. Keith Bradley right there in 4. If he's probably going to have the best shot at this, he's got the fresher tires. So just try to get a good enough restart with Ted right here.
There we go. All right, Adam, before we let you go here tonight, what do you think your team's going to do here tonight to get that job done for you?
I don't know. We'll just try to do what we can do right here.
Gotcha. 10-4, man. Good luck the rest of the way. We appreciate it.
Thank y'all.
Right now, as we come off of 4, pace lights are off of the pace truck. Adam, this will be all but the conclusion of the ButtKicker 125 here tonight as Ted Wade takes us off the corner. He has Adam Newbert in the 4 machine on the outside. They will drag race and drive for the green flag, and we are green flag racing once again down to corner number 1.
That green flag is away of the 99 of Devin Painter there on the inside of Bradley, trying to make something happen there in turn 1. Does not quite get the run he needs coming off of turn 2. Down the backstretch they go.
Yeah, right now, Chris Cinnamon's battling out there. Adam Newbert in the 4. Keith Bradley is right there on his back bumper as we dig down to 3 and 4. This race is coming to a conclusion with 9 laps to go. Make it 8 now as Ted Wade makes it an even number down to 1.
Now, looks like Adam Newbert's got company from Bradley, as he said that he probably has the best shot having the freshest tires. So as we see the battle ensue here between 2nd and 3rd, I'm sure Wade probably wants to see them battle as long as they can. That way they can stay behind him a little bit longer, but it does not seem to be happening that way. Down into turn 3 they go.
Yeah, Keith Bradley, the animal here tonight, trying to get that 29. We're under caution, under caution. Once again, we'll have a green-white checkered here in the ButtKicker 125.
That looks to be coming out on Stephen Light.
And if it is on the 97 of Stephen Light here as we check out the replay on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. 97 machine of Stephen Light. We see the heavy damage on the 97. We'll see right here. You know, Stephen Light's race here tonight was more disappointing than watching the Miami Hurricanes play Duke basketball here tonight. It's just a lot of promise, a lot of hope, starting off very strong here tonight, and just have it all unravel in the late stages of this race. Adam, that 97 coming off a win last week, ran in the second position, I'd say, for a good portion, 75-80% of the race here tonight. Started to have a few difficulties, and as they say, once you pull that first string, the rest of the sweater begins to unravel. As we see right here, as the caution flag is out, we'll have a green-white checker.
I think he just called it done.
Yep, just called it done right there. He's had enough there in the 97 we talked about. So tonight he's had here tonight a roller coaster of a night for the 97 machine of Stephen Light. Came in with a lot of promise, as I mentioned there. Not going to be his night, though, and that's very unfortunate for a strong run. But here as we close out the night, Adam, we're going to have a green-white checker in the ButtKicker 125. And the Triple M pulling Truck Series coming off of last week's race at Darlington. A pretty awesome race here tonight as well. And we have yet to be seen if Ted Wade can handle any pressure that he's going to feel from some of these drivers here when we go green flag racing.
Yeah, two drivers I'm definitely keeping an eye on at the moment is the number 29 of Bradley and the number 99 of Devin Painter, who has worked his way up into the top 5. Adam Newbert, though, still having a great run this evening, being up 10 spots from the drop of the flag.
Yeah, Adam Newbert there in the Ford trying to spark that run that he had in February. And as Adam mentioned in that interview, he said that he hasn't been racing, so that's why this streak hasn't continued. So take that as it is there, Adam Flieger. It's just because he hasn't been racing. That's why he hasn't been in victory lane. So the Ford machine definitely confident in the abilities here as we dig down into 3. We're going to go green flag racing here when we hit the front stretch.
Well, it looks like we still got one more lap to go under green or under caution here, so it looks like we'll take the green flag with about 3 laps to go in the race.
Oh, yep, my mistake there, Adam. The lights are still on of the pace truck here as we're sorting things out here under caution. And Adam, we're going to have essentially what is a green-white checkered here to conclude tonight's race. You know, what I've seen so far here tonight, of course, it's been the Ted Wade show, just like the Truman Show. Everybody's been watching Ted Wade here tonight. But what I'm liking so far is we have the likes of Keith Riley in the 29 in pace for a very good finish as well, maybe a podium finish. Adam Newbert, we know what he can do behind the wheel of the 4. Then you look at the likes of Devin Painter in the 99, in line for a top 5 finish here tonight. We love to see it out of the 99 of Devin Painter. Some other names in the mix as well. It's been a new mix of names inside the top 10 here tonight, Adam.
It most certainly has, and I'm wanting to point out something as I'm seeing this restart happening. All night tonight, we've seen Ted Wade restart from the bottom side. He is restarting this one from the top side of the racetrack. Is that going to give Keith Bradley the little bit of momentum going down into turn 1 over top of Wade?
It could be a little bit of a showing your cards, if you will, showing that those tires are starting to leave you just a little bit. But here we go. Let's see if they will leave them here in the drop of the green flag. Barney has that flag waving. We're green flag racing. Once again, the ButtKicker 125 as Ted Wade takes us down to 1, and what a huge restart it was from the 2.
And we got Chris Cinnamon into the wall into turn 1.
Chris Cinnamon in the wall. Big wreck in the 1 and 2. Big wreck. That's Chris Blanchard right there involved. Chris Cinnamon involved as well. Caution flag is out. That'll officially make it a green-white checkered here. Big pile up into 1 and 2.
Now with the green-white checkers here at NASRA, am I understanding correctly that it is, we get 2 attempts at it, correct?
I believe so. There, Adam, let me just double check just to make sure for the folks at home. Take a look at it here. 2 green-white checkers. Yes, sir, indeed. So we take a look here. Chris Cinnamon in that 3 machine. I think this is going to start to unfold way before the entry of the corner, as you already start to see the 3 of Chris Cinnamon on the top side of the racetrack. It's going to be sideways here. And again, that's another driver you could say is had a disappointing run for what was a promising start of the night there, Adam. And You're going to see Chris Blanchard in the 9 is going to get tagged up as well. That's going to end a great run from the 9. Be on par to maybe get a top 10 finish here tonight. Chris Blanchard in the 9.
I'm trying to see who he gets tagged by.
Yeah, it's interesting to see what happened to the 3 as well, because it looked like Chris Cinnamon in the 3 was sent up the racetrack by somebody.
Who is that sent him around? I'm trying to figure that out. The 39, okay, that'd be the 39 that sent Blanchard around. So. And Hagen in the 39 machine there is going to make contact with Chris Blanchard, but right in front of that, you're going to see Chris Cinnamon in the 3. They're going to lose steering. Essentially, what it looks like to me, they're on the entry of the corner, going to send the 3 into the topside wall. Behind the 3, though, we have a little incidental contact here as things were very jumbled up there on that restart there, Adam. You almost saw something like this brewing. It almost looked like something almost broke there with the 3 because he jumps out of line so hard.
Right.
It almost
exactly.
It almost seems like all of a sudden his wheels locked straight and took him straight to the wall.
That's exactly what my thoughts were for the 3 machine of Chris Cinnamon, who tonight had a very good run going on. Adam was, I'd say, inside the top 8 for a good portion of tonight's race, battling out there. You even saw him in the top 3 at one point as well. Just for some of these drivers, their nights have just gone completely sideways, and it's very unfortunate for some of these guys who are hoping for good runs to get some momentum going, to get some good results underneath their belts, so to say, Adam. But for some of these guys here tonight, not going to be the night at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. But I tell you what, though, Adam, the guy's night who has been Ted Wade here. I'm sure the folks at home here, if you're watching along with us here at the Nazareth 360 Racing Network, again, thank you for watching along with us here, wherever you're watching, whether it's on YouTube or Facebook. We invite you to go ahead and like, share, subscribe, follow all those good things to stay up to date with all the iRacing action that NASRA can provide. But here tonight, Adam, I know everybody at home is getting tired of us saying the name Ted Wade over and over and over again. But that's because there's been no change at the top of the grid. And here, I believe this is going to be our first attempt at the green-white checkered. Can anybody keep that 2 in grabs? We saw it there on that restart, a rocket restart for the 2.
He's had rocket restarts all night long here at New Hampshire. I just don't know how somebody can fully dial in that 2 here on the restarts.
We'll wait and see right now. Again, this is our first attempt at a green-white checkered. As we're slowly but surely coasting down the backstretch, right now we're going to go green flag racing once we hit that front stretch here at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. It is a beautiful racetrack up here in the hills of New Hampshire. Definitely going to see it during the summertime, but I am ready for green flag racing. So is Barney. So are the drivers on the racetrack. As the green flag is in the air, Barney decides and starts to wave as Ted Wade will take us down to corner number 1, our race leader in our first attempt at a green-white checkered in the ButtKicker 125.
Had Ted Wade out front. We got Keith Bradley there in second currently, trying to find a way to get up there to that 2. We got Adam Newbert there in the 3rd position, and then it's all chaos behind them as they try to make some moves. There's a name we haven't seen up towards the front very much here this evening. That's the 48 of Robert Richards. He's had an up and down night.
Right now, Ted Wade makes this race official. He takes the white flag down to corner number 1. All of a sudden, the 29 of Keith Bradley with a huge run down to 1 and 2. Had to check up, had so much momentum down to the corner. Almost forgot he had to brake there. As right now, we're down the backstretch to 29 with a huge run. No reeling in the 2 of Ted Wade down to 3 and 4 here. Adam, huge run. Now he's on the back bumper of the 2 around 3 and 4. Will he have enough on the exit?
I don't think he's got enough.
Right now, Ted Wade wins the ButtKicker 125 in miraculous fashion, essentially going wire to wire here tonight.
He definitely went and put on a show, that is for sure. Staying up front all night. Keith Bradley tried to give him some fight in there at the end, so it's unfortunate that he did not have too little too late almost.
Too little, too late indeed. That 29 of Keith Bradley, the animal. He was coming there, Adam. I'd say give him another 2 or 3 more laps. He would have caught the 2 machine of Ted Wade. But Ted Wade here tonight, Adam, it's not too common. You see it in speedway racing, maybe sometimes in short track racing, that you see a driver go wire to wire. Here tonight, Ted Wade started first, led the most laps, fastest truck on the racetrack, wins both the stages, and wins the race here tonight. Adam, you cannot do it any better and check all the boxes in one race. You get the highest achievement if we were playing on console. Ted Wade, I just gotta say, just a picture perfect performance here tonight.
Oh, most definitely. I don't think anybody else did hold the lead. I think he did lead every lap.
Well,
I don't think we had any lead changes.
I don't think so as well. I know Stephen Like was in second for a long time. A lot of other drivers were in second. Nobody got up to even try to put any pressure on the 2 here tonight. I think the racing stripes you're seeing on the 2 right now in the NASCAR 360 Racing Network are from the other drivers celebrating with him at the end of the race. Right now, let's run through those official results as Ted Wade's burning it down on the front stretch. Ted Wade wins the ButtKicker 125 here in the Triple M Pulling Truck Series. Keith Bradley, the animal, you saw that run he had there at the end, comes up just a little bit short, finishes second. Adam Newbert in the 4, up 10 spots in the drop of the green flag, finishes third. Jose Luis Rivera in the 20 finishes 4th. Devin Painter in the 99 finishes 5th. Robbie Richards in the 48 finishes 6th. Justin Lumpkin in the 18 finishes 7th. Joey Doucette in the 16 finishes 8th. Dan Hagan in the 39 and 9th. And rounding out our top 10 is Dana Shepard in the 45.
Alright, 11th is going to go to Cody Knott. 12th, Brian Chu. Taylor Peacock's going to take home position 13. Zach Hartwick going to take home 14th. Ron Hunter is going to end up 15th. Hunter Parsons going to take home the 16th position. Chris Blanchard 17th. 18th is going to go to Derek Kilgore. Finishing 19th, that's going to go to Stephen Thomas. And Huck Wiggeting is going to round out the top 20.
Yeah, in 21st position is Jimmy Emos in the 98. 22nd, now we're going to start to get into some disappointing runs, if you will, Adam. Chris Cinnamon in the 3 is going to finish 22nd. Tyler Detmer in the 34 going to finish 23rd. Trey Pitts is going to finish 24th. CJ Fonda 25th. Michael McKinnon in the 13th here tonight. Going to finish 26th. Stephen Light in the 97, a second place truck. Majority of the night will finish 27th here in tonight's race. Brendan Bullock in the 17 will finish 28th. Jeff Stickles 29th. Ed Osborne 30th. Jason Stevenson in the 72 finishes 31st. Clinton Mata and TJ Moore were our race control here tonight. But folks, we'll step aside for just a short break. We'll be right back here on the NASCAR 360 Racing Network for your post-race recap and our podium finishers. We're back. And we are back here at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. We just saw the conclusion of the ButtKicker 125 with Ted Wade in the 2 machine, showing us how to get it down here tonight, doing something in miraculous fashion. I think Adam goes wire to wire here tonight. But it is time to catch up with our podium finishers here tonight on Nazareth 360 Racing Network. And first, it is a man who is used to being in victory lane, did a lot of that in the month of February here tonight, though Adam's starting to get back into his groove, if you will. Finishes third. Adam Newbert, take us through your race here tonight.
Oh, I've never lost a groove. Never lost a groove. I think I'm feeling kind of good about a 3rd place finish there. I think I was a 5th place truck most of that race, and through all those late race pit stops and cautions, and getting 3rd is good with me.
Yeah, definitely through all the franticness at the conclusion of tonight's race. We saw Ted Wade in the 2. Basically, we were just talking off the air there. Had the fastest truck throughout. The lap time show it. The laps led show it. Did you ever feel like that if you could maybe get up to the 2, that you could put some pressure on them, or were you content with just racing for position?
Yeah, if I could have got to his outside or inside, one or the other, probably preferably outside, probably could have raced him a little bit right there. We did have a few lap fresher tires because we decided to pit. I don't know, one of those cautions, I lost track of how many cautions we had at the end there, but, earlier on, we decided to pit on one of the cautions, and we brought everybody behind us, and we left like the first 8. So we drove back from 9th all the way back to 4th, and then got 3rd on the next restart. And, I think we had a few lap fresher tires, and then some of those other guys pitted, and we got up to 2nd right there with Ted. And then I was like, man, if we can just race him side by side, we maybe can get him, or at least, have a shot at it. But Ted was good there. I thought Keith Bradley was going to get up there and race. He got up there and raced him hard on those fresh tires. So, 3rd's pretty good. I think, after we took last week off, we didn't race last week. Kind of wish we did race last week. We probably, would have had a chance to still be contending for the points lead right now. But got 6th in the first stage, 5th in the second stage, and 3rd in the final race. This team just continues to show their strength and continue to be a force to be reckoned with.
Yes, sir, indeed. With the 3rd place finish here tonight, Adam, you just touched on it. Your run there, up 10 spots from the drop of the green flag. I would say what was the easiest aspect of tonight's race, but what was the hardest aspect of what I like to say it's a supersized short track?
The hardest thing, I just got to say, was all those late race cautions and then all the crashes. And I think there was one point in time, Joey and Hunter were on my outside coming off turn 2, and they got into each other. And if I wouldn't have went low right there, maybe I was going to be caught up in it. I was kind of afraid of that. But, yeah, I think just the hardest thing, just trying to, I don't know, survive all those late race cautions.
Right. Survive in advance, Adam Newbert in the 4. You survive all those late race cautions, finishing 3rd here tonight. And Adam, you know the drill from all your wins in February. This is your opportunity to shout out anybody that you had watching at home here tonight, or any sponsors that made this race possible for you.
Well, I just thank my girlfriend for watching, my family for watching. Go down the list here. Thank the sponsors. My current sponsor, Ladanco Construction Company at Shreveport, Louisiana. They can build your business for you. Just give them a shout out. All of our team sponsors at Sick With It Motorsports. First off, our team owner, Jeff Sickles, our teammates tonight. Jeff Sickles, obviously Brian Chu, Justin Lumpkin, Stephen Thomas, my spotter, Marty Huntsman. Our rest of our team sponsors, Millie's Landing, Azlon Landscaping, Darren's Nugget Repair, First Pacific Funding, Roofco Group, The Family Handyman, Spatulas, Millie's Restaurant and Catering, Millie's North, and then thank y'all, everybody at National 360 Racing Network, Pulse Poppers, Hoopty's Garage, Blanchard's Towing and Recovery, ButtKicker, Stogies, M1 Race Cars, and Warrior Wraps. Thank y'all up in the booth for everything y'all do.
Yes, sir. Well, we appreciate the shout out there, Mr. Adam Newbert in the 4. Coming home 3rd here tonight. We appreciate you taking the time with us, my man. Cannot wait to see you maybe Monday night in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series. Adam Newbert 3rd here tonight. We appreciate it.
So, thank y'all.
That was Adam Newbert in that 4 machine, 3rd place on the podium, but I believe Adam Flieger is catching up with our 2nd place finisher, the Animal, Keith Bradley.
Keith Bradley, you there with me?
I am. How are you?
I'm doing great. You put on quite a show there at the end of this one tonight. Thought maybe if you had a few more laps, you might have been able to give Wade a run for the money there as you look strong there them last 2 laps of this race.
Yeah, I mean, them 4 tires helped for sure, but even before I pitted, I think me and Ted was pretty even, and I think if I could have got around the 97 sooner, probably could have had something for Ted. But I mean, either way, I'm glad I at least put on a show there at the end because it was fun from my viewpoint.
It was fun from our viewpoint as well. I was getting worried that maybe you were sending it in a little too hard, but it was still good to watch there at the end of that one.
Yeah, I mean, towards the end of the race, you just got to try anything, throw the kitchen sink at it if you have to. And I was trying, and Ted was trying also to run it in just as hard as I was to limit me getting underneath him. Which, hey, it's racing. I'm just glad it was fun. We all put on a good show, I think.
You most definitely did there at the end. The endings are always the fun part whenever everybody's coming together trying to figure out where they're going to finish. Who's going to try that, them who try to be the quarterback for their team and throw that Hail Mary pass.
Yeah, it was just a matter of perfecting the Hail Mary tonight, and unfortunately we didn't perfect it. I think we were pretty close. The good thing is I think me and Ted was pretty even as far as lap times and speed goes, which is good. Just a little too short, a little too late. One less caution, I think, probably would have been different.
Yeah, it's kind of what my thoughts were, was that if you would have had one more lap, I think you might have had them.
Oh, for sure.
So, well, you have any sponsors you want to give shout-outs to?
Oh, absolutely. I want to thank Dan's Top Notch Heating Cooling. He came on board, sponsored us last season. He came back this season to sponsor the whole season, which is awesome. Blanchard's Towing and Recovery. That's a new sponsor to us and a new teammate with Chris Blanchard. Upfront Motorsports, Grant Tactical Hydro Dipping. They're also a new sponsor to us, new to the sim racing community. John Hedrick over at Over the Top Designs. He keeps our trucks painted every week. Colts Poppers, Hoopty's Garage, Warrior Wraps, Upfront Motorsports, Nazra 360. You guys up in the booth, Brady, all my teammates. My teammates are, we're all kind of stuck in a rut, but we're going to hopefully dig out of that rut and find some momentum to get us all in the playoffs here.
Well, a few more finishes like that, and hopefully you can help your team get up there to the podium with you.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for joining me here in the booth, and I think we got Will Tiller getting ready to speak with our race winner.
Yes, sir, indeed. A man that has been patiently waiting for this interview in Victory Lane here tonight. A man who basically laid down the tutorial on how to win here at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. A man who felt no pressure here tonight at the top of the grid. Ted Wade in that 2 machine. Ted, I wouldn't say it's a boring evening for you here tonight, but essentially go wire to wire here in tonight's race. What made you feel so confident, and how did you get that done here tonight?
This one track I've never actually raced at in the trucks. I ran some Cup cars, old Gen 6 here years ago, and it's a little technical. It's not too bad, but I feel like I do a little bit better at those types of tracks, and I was just able to stay out front on point and control the race.
And I just talked about it there. You win stage 1, you win stage 2. You're fastest on the track in stage 1, fastest on the track in stage 2. You finish as the fastest truck on the racetrack as well. Was there ever a point in tonight's race that you felt any sort of pressure? Did you ever feel like that any other drivers in tonight's field were going to make it up there to you, so to say? Did you ever feel like at any point in tonight's race that this wasn't your race to win?
I think on the long run, I didn't feel like anybody could stay up there. Maybe if I separated us a little bit there at the beginning, we all were just so even. So if I could create a second gap, 15, 20 laps into a run, me, Keith, and Stephen Light was running identical lap times pretty much, and they would be able to gain ground. But them taking, I think Keith and Chris and a bunch of them pitted there on that next last caution. And I thought that screwed me right there pretty good. But those last couple cautions for the green-white checkered really saved me.
Yeah, those cautions coming out in just the clutch time, if you will. And let's talk about that for a minute there, because we were keeping an eye out for that here in the NASRA 360 Racing Network broadcast booth up here. Your pit window, there was about 16 to 15 laps in between you and the rest of the field. Were you ever nervous about that fuel win or that pit window at all? But maybe the rest of the field had fresher equipment and could catch you, and it looked like Keith Bradley in 29 may have had a little run on you at the end.
Oh yeah, we were giving it everything we had there at the end of that race, and fuel-wise, we were good after the end of that second stage. Hell, you could take, I don't even think we took full fuel. We might have 11.5 gallons there, and it was enough to finish. It wasn't too bad though.
Yeah, well, Ted, just here at New Hampshire, you just said it's the first time you've ever raced in a truck here at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. You get the job done here in impressive fashion. I just mentioned all those statistical things. Lead the most laps. You start on the pole. You're gonna be raking in some cash here tonight, Ted. I gotta say you're creeping up probably in the range around $100 here tonight from the performance you put on. What else more can be said about just this drive here tonight? How can you continue this sort of performance onto next week?
Oh, I only run part-time over here, man, so I try not to come over and run a whole lot, just whenever it's a different
Come over
track.
and win too much, right?
Oh yeah, I just try to pop up when it's a new track, like something I haven't raced or
Right.
something different I haven't won on, and I just want to come over and see how I fare against them, and I just happened to sneak one out on them tonight.
Let's call you the Kyle Busch of this truck series here. You just sneak in when you feel like it. You win you a couple races, and you bounce right back on out. But Ted Wade, the winner here tonight at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. And Ted, I was talking with my broadcast partner here tonight. Will you eat the giant lobster you get in Victory Lane?
Oh yeah, definitely, man. I'm gonna have lobster all over me tonight.
There we go. But before we let you go, my man, in Victory Lane, is there anybody that you wanted to shout out here today, or any sponsors that made this race possible for you?
Yeah, man. I'd like to give Over the Top Designs a shout out. John Hedrick over there, great guy. He's helped me out a lot. Dan's Top Notch Heating and Cooling, Grant Tactical, Hydrographic Printing. That's a great place. They hydro dip a bunch of stuff. Do just pretty cool things you can check out on Facebook. Bruzy Racewear, Loose Lug Nuts Racing, Blanchard's Towing and Recovery, NASRA, Triple M. Everybody over here on the 360 network, man. I appreciate it, guys.
Yes, sir, indeed. Ted Wade wins here tonight. The ButtKicker 125 in impressive fashion, going wire to wire in the trucks. Ted Wade, we appreciate him taking the time with us here tonight in the the Triple M Pulling Truck Series here on Friday night. Adam, I almost got tripped up with my series here tonight. It's been me and you up here in the broadcast booth. Usually you're the producer. Here tonight you were the commentator. What are your thoughts about tonight's race?
Yeah, it was definitely a fun one to watch. I think if we definitely would have had another lap, it could have been a different story here within Victory Lane, but it's still a great race to watch. Try to figure out these driver strategies as the night went on.
Yeah, definitely. And it was interesting to see as well that the last run of this race, only 5 laps different than stage 1 and 2. These drivers didn't really have to do the homework there in those stage races. Just keep the truck clean, just inch away at positions around the racetrack, work your way up to the top of the grid. But even still, nobody could climb to the top of the mountain here tonight. As Miley Cyrus once said, there's always going to be a mountain to climb. There's always going to be an uphill battle. And all those drivers are trying to do that here tonight, but nobody could get the job done. And Ted Wade, in the 2 machine, wins the ButtKicker 125. And our biggest mover of tonight's race here tonight, Adam, looking at that grid, you would think it was Adam Newbert up 10 spots or Dane Hagen up 12 spots down in the 9th position. But here tonight, our biggest mover of the race was Jimmy Emos, finishing 21st up 12 spots from the drop of the green flag. But for all of us here at the NASRA 360 Racing Network, myself, William Tiller, Adam Flieger, the man behind the decks, and the man behind the microphone here tonight, giving us all the wonderful shots and describing all of those wonderful shots for you here tonight in the Triple M Pulling Truck Series. But here next week, next Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we keep it moving, we keep it grooving in these trucks as we head to the great state of Kentucky, right there with about just one race to go before that all-star break at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Once again, Ted Wade wins here tonight. We take a look at the point standings right now. Adam Newbert on top of the grid. Stephen Light second right there with 2 wins. Chris Cinnamon in third. We look around that table right there, Adam. We look at tonight's winner of Ted Wade, not on the grid as a part-time driver. So how do you think that shakes up some of these drivers here in these points tables before we wrap up here tonight? Oh, definitely. Coming into tonight, Chris Cinnamon was our points leader. So a lot of things changed here tonight. So you have to be sure to tune in next week, next Friday night, here 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Triple M Pulling Truck Series. If you have an itch in for some more Truck Series racing, be sure to tune in here in the Nazareth 360 Racing Network, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday night for the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series as those playoffs are rocking and rolling. Once again, for all of us here at the Nazareth 360 Racing Network, myself, William Tiller, and Adam Flieger, the man who was doing everything here tonight. Again, we want to wish Ted Wade a big congratulations. We want to thank everybody for watching at home along with us here, whether you were watching on Facebook or YouTube. Again, we want to thank you for watching along with us here tonight. Congratulations to Ted Wade. Everybody have a great night. Have a great rest of your weekend. We'll see you right back here Monday night for that SimRacerHub.com Truck Series at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. See you then.